Up next, Governor Steve Bullock wants men and women paid equally for equal work.
Montana women aren't lacking in motivation.
That's tonight's top story right now on Fox 5 News at 9.
Your first local news at 9 starts right now, only on Fox 5 at 9.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Emily Scarlett. Governor Steve Bullock fighting for pay equality today, with the state of Montana ranking 39th for pay equity in the entire country. Governor Bullock announcing the creation of a task force that will address pay disparities in Montana workplaces. According to Bullock, Montana women earn only 67% of what men earn. The task force will assist Bullock by gathering information, furnishing advice, providing recommendations on policies and actions to ensure that Montana workers earn equal pay for equal work, regardless of gender.
We certainly know that Montana women aren't lacking in motivation or talent or effort, but they are lacking in equal pay.
I want to make sure we have a society that's just for women and that women are getting paid fairly for the work that they do every day. And as a woman and as the mother of daughters, it's critically important to me.
Commissioner of Labor and Industry Pam Busey and Department of Administration Director Sheila Hogan will co-chair the task force. They expect to put together a team within the next month. And stick around, we'll hear more about what viewers have to say about gender pay disparities later in the show in this week's Tell It to Fox responses. All right, moving into weather, Chief Meteorologist Ted King is here with a first look at our forecast. Some cloudy skies, but nothing too bad in terms of storms today.
Well, not in our area anyway, Emily. There are some severe thunderstorm warnings out in the state. Let's take a look at the map right now. We'll show you where you see the yellow. That's where there are severe thunderstorm warnings out for particular cells. A severe thunderstorm watch had just expired, but these are warnings where you see the yellow. In other words, that means severe weather is occurring at the present time. As we go to the radar, you can see some of those big boomers happening. Look at those orange and yellows. That's where those severe thunderstorms are occurring. And another batch just firing up between Bozeman and Billings right now, heading off to the north and east. And I'll have more on our current weather and the weekend coming up in a little while. Emily?
Thank you, Ted. Well, school is out, and for some students, that means no breakfast, no lunch. Tonight, our own Rachel Osley tells us all about a program making sure local kids don't go hungry.
Great Falls School District has the highest number of free and reduced lunch recipients in the state. And for many of these kids, that lunch is the only meal they receive a day. So the summer feeding program is a national campaign making sure no child goes hungry. 11-year-old Shamar comes to First English Lutheran Church in Great Falls every day for a free meal now that school's out.
They serve like hot dogs and hamburgers, cheeseburgers, goulash, spaghetti. It's delicious here.
It's all part of the summer feeding program to make sure no child goes hungry, even without a school lunch or pantry program.
Because of cutbacks with the school district, they only do theirs through the month of June.
This is just one site in Great Falls, sponsored by Head Start, who cooks the food, and the Great Falls Community Food Bank, who provides the food.
There is a gap here, and we need people to step up and do this.
The food bank hopes to expand the program next year to other areas like south of 10th Avenue, because across the whole country, kids are still going hungry.
We're only reaching about 10% of the children that could use a meal.
Here, a hot breakfast is served Monday through Friday at 10:30. Lunch is served at 11. All kids eat for free, no questions asked.
A basic need, and until that is fulfilled, kids can't have fun.
Parents and guardians are welcome to join the community atmosphere and are simply asked to provide a goodwill donation while the kids eat free. It's all about building community and neighbors helping neighbors.
My mom saves her money a little bit.
To find out about summer feeding program sites in your area, simply use your cell phone to text the word lunch to 877-877. Most sites offer breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday throughout the summer. In the Fox 5 studio, I'm Rachel Osley.
Yellowstone National Park officials say about 30 people contracted the norovirus while in the park. Yellowstone spokesperson Al Nash says they started getting reports of the illness on June 6th. Nash says concession workers may have gotten the virus after coming into contact with visitors from 2 tour buses. The virus has been contained to the Mammoth Hot Springs area of the park. Nash says people need to practice simple hygiene while in the park.
On the area are aware of the fact that they need to be vigilant. The best thing anybody can do is to make sure that, you clean your hands.
Nash says the park is taking extra time to clean where the infected people were. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say norovirus causes about 21 million illnesses each year. Another powerful plant explosion, this time in Louisiana, killing at least one person and injuring more than 70 others.
A massive explosion at a chemical plant in Louisiana. This amateur video shows a thick plume of black smoke shooting into the air following the powerful blast. It happened Thursday morning in Geismar, about 20 miles from Baton Rouge.
There's definitely a chemical industry here, so there's not many residents in the area. The roadways are closed, probably about a 2-mile radius.
Governor Bobby Jindal says tests have found no dangerous chemicals around the scene.
There are no early detections of dangerous levels of VOC, volatile organic compounds, but out of an abundance of caution, both the company and DEQ are doing additional testing, not only at the plant site, but miles away from the plant site and following the direction of the plume.
Hundreds of people were reportedly working at the plant, dozens of them being treated at local hospitals.
And our focus at the very beginning is making sure the airway is stable and making sure that the intravascular volume is replaced from fluid losses and try to prevent any complications from infection, etc. That's really the work of the first day or two.
This is the second deadly plant explosion in the nation in the past couple months. Back in April, a fertilizer plant exploded, killing 15 people in West Texas. The cause of the blast remains unclear. The FBI says terrorism is not suspected. In New York, Rick Leventhal, Fox News.
iPhones could be getting larger and cheaper. According to Reuters, Apple is considering launching iPhones with 4.7-inch and 5.7-inch screens. Also reportedly under discussion, a cheaper iPhone in a plastic casing and a $99 price tag. Current iPhones come in only black and white, but the cheaper iPhones could be available in 5 or 6 different colors. The company has lost market share to Samsung and its bigger screen Galaxy phones, but so far Apple has declined to comment on the report. It's just funny because we've seen how phones, first it was all about the flip phones, then it was the flat screen and the Razr phone. So now I guess it's the bigger phones that are in.
Yeah, the bigger phone, the bigger screen.
Yep.
Who knows what's lurking around the corner next?
What's next? We don't know. Well, what's next for this weekend in the weather department?
Actually, we're going to go have another day of clouds and rain, but things looking better for the weekend, and I'd like to talk about that, and I will coming up after the break. First, show you where we were today. Only in the upper 50s to around 60 for a high. That's it. Well below the average for this time of year, and 0.13 of an inch of rain in the bucket in Great Falls. And there'll be a little more tomorrow, and I'll tell you about it coming up after the break.
Your Weather Authority forecast continues right now on Fox 5 at 9.
Good evening, everyone. So glad you're with us on this Thursday evening. Hey, that sun showed its face for a little while this evening, and it'll be showing its face even more as we head towards late tomorrow and on into the weekend, and I'll get to that in just a few moments. First, show you the severe thunderstorm watch is no longer in effect. However, a few severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect in our state, well out to the east of Great Falls and Helena, and we expect any severe activity to stay well out to the east. And just a few light showers around Great Falls right now. Most of the activity south and west of Lewistown, and most of that will stay there heading off to the north and east. Currently 53 in Great Falls, 52 in Helena, down to the 40s for overnight lows tonight. And there you see that activity really fire up earlier just a couple of hours ago and heading towards the high line now. Some of this activity is severe, the brighter oranges and yellows. That's where the heavy stuff is happening. Probably some hail, some gusty winds over 60 miles per hour, and numerous probably branches down here and there across some of the area. Anyway, this activity continues to move off to the north and east, and it'll plague the high line for the next couple of hours or so. And the reason, once again, is the same story. We have this flow in the jet stream just bringing moisture in off the Pacific. That's been happening for the last few days. But over the weekend, that jet stream will shift and move in a manner like so. How about that? And with that, high pressure we'll be able to build on in and bring us some nice weather over the weekend. Whenever you get underneath the jet stream like this, that allows high pressure to build in, and high pressure sort of stabilizes the atmosphere. It prevents a lot of air from rising, and it's rising air that causes the rainfall. Simply put, anyway. All right, Futurecast picks up nicely on this, shows the rainfall across the region now. Humid air again tomorrow, chance for some more showers during the daytime. But by later in the day, see this high right here? It begins to flex its muscles and moves towards us. And by Saturday, a beautiful day. I think wall-to-wall sunshine will be the story on Saturday, and a pretty nice day as well for you on Sunday. So we just have this hurdle tonight to jump and tomorrow, and then things get much, much better. Central Montana tonight, mostly cloudy, some showers and thunderstorms scattered about the area, anywhere from the upper 30s in the normally cooler communities to the 40s elsewhere. 50s normally cooler communities tomorrow, mid-60s elsewhere, becoming partly cloudy. There'll be a few showers around early. It'll also become breezy during the course of the day. The Rocky Mountain front tonight, 40s, mostly cloudy, a few showers possible tomorrow, but getting better later in the day as it becomes windy. A few severe thunderstorms possible along the high line tonight with temperatures down to the 50s. 60s tomorrow, a few more showers and thunderstorms possible. And the next 7 days, there you have that beautiful weekend coming up. Real nice weather right into the early part of next week. The next chance for any rainfall, it doesn't look like till maybe late Tuesday on into Wednesday. Emily.
Coming up, country star Toby Keith helping out tornado victims in his home state of Oklahoma.
You're more than amazing. You're more than fantastic.
That's in tonight's entertainment update, up next on Fox 5. Stone Age rocks a new job for Ashton. Lilo checks out and Toby gives back in tonight's entertainment update.
You're more than amazing. You're more than fantastic.
Country star Toby Keith headlining a benefit concert for tornado victims July 6th at the University of Oklahoma. Garth Brooks, Trisha Yearwood, Willie Nelson, and Ronnie Dunn are all scheduled to appear. TMZ reporting Lindsay Lohan has checked out of the Betty Ford Treatment Center in Rancho Mirage and entered the Cliffside Rehab Facility in Malibu. Ashton Kutcher's new movie Jobs is being released on August 16th. The release date of the big screen biopic about the late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs coincides with the 37th anniversary of the computer company. And like clockwork, the new album from Queens of the Stone Age is in the top spot of the Billboard 200 albums chart. And that's your entertainment update. A member of our KFBB team setting out on a huge journey, recently named Miss Great Falls, now fighting for the Miss Montana title.
We know here in Great Falls we have a winner, and all the other communities ought to step up and take notice.
Thank you so much. That's sweet of you.
Great Falls Mayor Michael Winter's reaction to KFBB's own Elise Jesse being named Miss Great Falls USA, and now preparing to compete for the title of Miss Montana USA. Elise says support is coming in from all across Great Falls.
Just like, fans rally and gather around their teams that they love, I'm feeling what those players almost feel like in a way. They are so supportive and they're just backing me up like crazy, and it feels so amazing to have all that support, and it just makes me more confident going into this competition.
Businesses like the O'Hare Motor Inn and the Bridal Shop, along with several others including the Peak Fitness Gym, have lined up to sponsor Elise in her quest for the state title.
Oh, we're really super happy to be supporting Elise on this journey, and we're very proud to be giving her the best Great Falls has to offer as far as working out, and just supporting her in any way we can along the way.
I'm very proud, and I think it's wonderful. She's so beautiful, and I think she's going to represent us great.
The 5'11" former Miss Western Ohio USA has been reporting and anchoring sports for KFBB TV since October of last year. And while a dedicated professional on air, those of us who work with Elise know a different side.
I guess the real Elise is definitely a goofy person. I'm constantly making weird faces or doing the Elaine dance, as my boss liked to call it. It's something that I enjoy. It's definitely something that's fun for me. But it's definitely something different than what my coworkers and my friends are used to. They're used to seeing me in jeans out on the football field covering a game.
Oh, I think it's very good. It's good for our economy. I think it's good for us looking good throughout the state. I think that it's an incredibly good thing that we're having our future Miss Montana here.
And so the journey toward the title of Miss Montana USA begins.
The process now is a rigid workout schedule, still maintaining my high level of work at my job and making sure that I really focus on that as well, and going to different places and figuring out your dress situation and making sure that it fits properly, getting photos in, practicing your runway walk, everything. There's a lot of work that goes into a pageant like this.
Hey, it's that time again. Let's take a look at what viewers had to say in response to this week's Tell Us a Fox question. First, let's get a refresher on this week's question. This week's topic: 50 years ago, President John F. Kennedy signed the Equal Pay Act, an effort to abolish wage discrimination based on gender, with President Obama announcing this week there's still more work to be done. And according to the National Partnership for Women and Families, women in the U.S. earn over $10,000 less than their male counterparts each year. Do you think women will ever be treated equally in corporate America, or will this forever be an ongoing battle for American women? The AAUW conducted a graduating to pay gap report and found women are paid 7% less than men, even if they work in the same job, major in the same field, and work the same number of hours per week. By some estimates, women could lose up to $1 million over a 40-year career because of these pay differences. One viewer had this to say in an email. Robert says the figure refers to the incomes of all women compared to all men, regardless of the choices many women make not to enter the workplace at all or to drop in and out of it at will. The figures are thus meaningless. This according to Robert. He says American women have rights. It's individuals that have the responsibility. Now, President Obama hoping to reignite the Paycheck Fairness Act, which will require employers to show that pay disparity is truly related to job performance and requirements, not gender. But this bill has failed to pass in the House and Senate in the past. Here's more of what our viewers had to say as to whether or not women will ever be treated fairly in corporate America.
I think it has to start from the top. Our leaders have to show us by example. And it's only then that we're going to really see a change. And I'm glad to see more women in leadership roles. That will, I think, affect the future as well.
Well, if they work as hard as my wife does on the ranch, they'll get there, I'm sure of it.
I think it's an ongoing battle, actually. They're doing a whole lot better. There are some companies when they do better than the men, but right now it's still an ongoing battle.
Well, thank you again to everyone for all your comments. Be sure to head on over to our Fox 5 Facebook page, like it, and be ready to answer our next Tell Us a Fox question so you can be a part of next week's show. But for now, let's check in with Tom Purvis. He's joining me now for Sports Tom. Final Prep of the Year finalist tonight.
Yeah, that's right. We take a look at an incredible young athlete from Townsend. That's next. And the Helena Senators got a big win yesterday. How they're using that win to build some momentum. We're right back.
We haven't put the ball in play with guys in scoring position. And in that inning, we had a number of guys come through.
Her leadership with the other girls is what really sets her out.
Bailey Dexter, so many All-State awards, it's hard to keep track, but it's the intangibles that set her apart as one of our Prep of the Year finalists. And the Helena Senators getting a nice win. Now they just have to keep it going. Fox 5 Sports next.
Total sports coverage. Fox 5 Sports starts right now.
Hey, welcome to Fox 5 Sports, everyone. I'm Tom Purvis. The Great Falls Chargers were in Missoula today for the Missoula Legion Tournament. The Chargers looking to end a 4-game skid. They played a team from Casper, Wyoming earlier today. This is the first game in a doubleheader the Chargers would play today. Tied at ones in the third, Casper's Dan Reese grounds out to second, but it still brings in a run from third for a 2-1 lead. Now, top of the fourth, Lucas Poitra gets to first on the error at third. That could have been the third out for Casper, which would prove costly for the Oilers. Josh Oatman hits it up the infield. Wyatt Eckert comes in to score. Tied things up 2-2 in the seventh inning. With 2 outs, the pickoff attempt goes poorly, meaning the pitch runner is able to get to third. Eckert now at the plate. gets a hold of the ball, but it doesn't drop soon enough. Casper gets the out and the 3-2 win. Hey, the Helena Senators used an 8-run 7th-inning rally to storm back and beat the Billings Royals yesterday. Catcher Dan Hansen led the charge, going 2 for 4 and bringing in 3 runs. The win improves their record to 9-17 overall and 2-5 in conference play. Tomorrow they will take on the other Billings team, the Scarlets, in a 2-game series.
These guys got on base. We were able to sacrifice a little bit and got some clutch hitting, which that has really been the issue. We haven't put the ball in play with guys in scoring position. And in that inning, we had a number of guys come through. Ryan Estep, Brad Tiefenthaler, Dan Hansen.
That is the first outbreak we've really had, and we can just keep on rolling with that. Once you get going, it's all momentum. So I think the confidence is there, and we should have a fun weekend.
Hey, tonight we take a look at our final Prep of the Year finalist, Bailey Dexter of the Townsend Bulldogs. Dexter has been a huge part of a very successful Townsend athletic program, and it's easy to see why.
She's always in the gym, she's always on the court, she's always on the golf course practicing. She doesn't have a lot of downtime.
Not unlike many great athletes, Bailey Dexter of the Townsend Bulldogs puts in a lot of time getting better, and her accomplishments speak for themselves. Dexter was an all-conference setter for a Bulldogs team that took 4th in state. She was an all-conference selection on a basketball team that took 2nd in state. And in her 3rd and favorite sport, golf, she got the all-state nod there as well, led her team to a state title, and finished 3rd overall at the State Open.
When we show up at a tournament, you know she's going to be one of the leaders, if not win that tournament. And her leadership with the other girls is what really sets her out. She's not as concerned about her own individual score, but she's really looking for a team score.
Dexter was named to the academic all-state team in all 3 of those sports. But something that's easily missed is Dexter's ability to come through in the clutch, an attribute her coaches have come to rely on.
She's got that shooter's mentality, and she's our scorer. And you know, she made a huge shot for us last year in the divisional tournament, and without that shot we wouldn't have won the game and went on to state. And just knowing that she's capable of doing things like that, her teammates respect her, and she's just a great asset for us.
Hey, one other very big part of Bailey's story is that she has Lyme's disease, something she was diagnosed with just last year. Later this month, we'll have a special story about her difficult but inspiring journey. For now, let's take a look at the results. Bailey has 16% of the vote. She trails Kara Gerke and Callie Kantak, who have 43 and 25% respectively. For the guys, Zach Molyneux continues to lead the pack. He has 36% now, increasing his lead over Kendall Denham, who has 28%. Voting ends tomorrow, so if you haven't already, head to kfbb.com and vote. It's your last chance, so if you want your voice to be heard, head to kfbb.com again and vote. That's all for sports. We're back after this.
All right, showers and thunderstorms are possible through the overnight hours. Otherwise, skies will be partly to mostly cloudy and a few lingering showers or some areas of light rain through about midday tomorrow. Then I think things start to break up and we see a little sun by later in the day. And then, hey, what a present for Dad I have here. Beautiful weather over the weekend with temperatures in the middle 70s.
Looks good, Ted. I'm looking forward to that weekend. But hey, Prep of the Year, tomorrow's the last day to vote. This is you all's first year doing it, but a great turnout so far.
Yeah, you know, we just kind of had this idea, figured that we'd give it a shot, and the response has been overwhelming. So yeah, last chance to vote tomorrow, kfbb.com. Click on the sports tab, get right in there and vote.
All right, make sure you do that. Hey, thanks for watching tonight. That's all we have. We'll see you tomorrow night on Fox 5 News at 9.